Hey guys, this is Mr. Pila here on The Pila Show. Today I took the chance to play Project Cars 2, but this is the demo version, which contain only 3 tracks with 3 different cars you can play with. We have the Lamborghini, a F1 car, and a GR car or GT car, I'm not sure, but it's a Ferrari anyway. So again, it's a demo, so you have limited stuff you can do. Now, from just starting the race, or just before I start the race, there was a lot of stuff I could do before the race. I didn't look too much into it, but it looks way too much more than I have to look at. I mean, I don't have to change so much stuff for me to like it. Usually I just go right forward and play the game and just make sure I can play it for my own ways, so I don't have to adjust any controls, because then I would go crazy for sure. So here we are in the Lamborghini, at Red Bull track or something. I don't know if it's a real track or something. When I was starting and going away after the finish line, all of a sudden I started to spun out immediately. It felt like driving on ice, and I crashed into many cars, as you saw there. It was very fun because I didn't expect any cars to come up right up on my front, like the car in front of me did. But during the lap I learned more how the track worked and how the controls were. As I said, it was very slippery controls. You need to be very careful when you're steering. But then again, this is a street car. Different cars might be feeling different, so be aware of that. But this one was okay, and the track looks good. I think the interior of the car looks great from what I saw from the cockpit, and it sounded pretty good. Sounded a little bit like a F1 car, but just me. Maybe I would change my mind if I get the whole game one day and play with different cars. And this is a game that have very different kind of weather systems, and this have the foggy system, I think. Not that much of a difference, but you really need to be paying attention to what kind of condition there is on the track. Moving forward to the F1 car. Now this one was also very fun to drive, because it felt like a completely different style of racing. I haven't played like a racing car that is a F1 car, in the way you're sitting in the car, and the way you can see around the car, and how you can see the others coming from the sides and everything. So it really felt special. The car was fast, the turning was special too, it has better grip. It was not as good as going into the corners, or turn in the corners I should say. So, but it was fun, and this track was a completely sunny track, so everything was good. There was no problem to drive here. I think it was on the same track, but a little bit bigger. But as you can see here on some stuff here, I don't drive my perfect way. I mean, I ran out of tracks several times, and when I did, it went completely crap. But it was fun. It was fun, I gotta say that. And you can't blame me. I mean, it's the first time I'm playing, so yeah. It's just a little practice. I still have the demo on my PlayStation. I don't know when I will delete it or when I will buy the whole game. Not digital, like only physical. Almost like feeling like Ronnie Peterson. It's a Swedish legend in F1 cars, but he died a long time ago, so you probably don't know even who he is. And I didn't even do that as well, but that's another thing. Okay, moving forward to the last race, which is with this Ferrari, and I don't know exactly what kind of car it is. If it's a GR car, if it's a GT car. I'm probably talking nonsense here, but I'm not an expert, so please bear with me with that. So in this track, it's a wet condition, and oh my god, it was difficult to drive. I was not ready for it, but I knew it was going to be a wet track, so I felt like I have to drive real carefully. I need to brake much earlier, so when I thought like, okay, now when we can start the race we can just go right forward, no, you couldn't, because the opponents, they were really careful as well, which I was not ready for. So when they brake, just to go shorter into the corners, I was like braking for my life as well, because it went so freaking quick from fast to nothing. But when you're trying to go to some corners, I ran almost like out of the track immediately, because it was something completely different that I haven't done before. I mean, Gran Turismo, the game I play most, or the racing game I play the most, doesn't have this feature. It doesn't have the weather change. It just have sunny weather, cloudy weather, or fog weather, but it doesn't change the way you can drive on the tracks itself. So the wet system was really a big enemy this time. Now next time I will be more prepared for it. So compared to Gran Turismo Sport, the controls were a lot slippery, and if you just touch the joystick a little bit, the whole steering wheel turned like the whole way you could. You almost spun out immediately, which was really difficult because you really have to adjust yourself. So what do I think of the game? It is nice looking, it runs very well, and from the cars I saw, that looks great. I don't think it was terrible. I didn't thought about that. I mean, I could sit in them, I could drive them, that's all I need. And it's a good variety of cars as well. You can drive everything from Indy cars to NASCAR to Formula 1 cars, dirt tracks, and everything. So that's a big plus, that it has so much variety in both the tracks, weather, and cars, which Gran Turismo doesn't have. Now, Gran Turismo is not a bad game, I can tell you that for sure. It's a fun game too. But if I want to try something more than Gran Turismo, I'd probably go for Project Cars 2. Now, there is a collector's edition, which I want to buy, if I feel I want to, of course. And it contains a car scale module, contains some kind of esport card where you can see some esport stuff. But now remember, this collector's edition is from 2017 in September, so you gotta remember that this one is old and probably some stuff aren't in the game anymore. I mean, the esport thing. The rest is, of course, we get a book, we get some DLC cars, so that's great as well. I probably missed out some stuff now, but I don't know, I haven't checked too much into it. Thank you guys for watching so much on this little review of Project Cars 2, the demo version, and we'll see you next time.